can only pick one thing and it's free for the rest of your life. What do you pick? Flights, food, concert tickets, gas, hotel rooms, shoes and clothes? What do you pick? Hey, what's going on? This is Maoli Vodi from financiallypresent.com, your one-stop shop for financial and investment education. And big shout out to Anthony O'Neill. He posted this this tweet or post on Instagram, and I thought it was a fun exercise to be able to do with people because it helps you understand a little bit about what you care about when it comes to your expenses. So I'm going to break down each of these different choices, and then I'm going to tell you mine at the end. So first one, flights. Okay, so if you pick flights, you have really big eyes. Okay, this is generally going to be one of the bigger expenses, but it's not necessary at all. But for the most part, flights are a game changer. All right, being able to go different places and not worry about the cost, that changes a lot of things for a lot of people. You might find yourself flying for any particular reason. Imagine flying to Rome for lunch and back. It'll take some time, but ultimately you get the picture. This is a big purchase and probably one of the bigger ones on the list, depending on how you spend, right? But this is a good solid pick. Food. So if you pick this, you're pretty greedy. No, well, okay, you're not really greedy. It's just you're being very practical, right? You like to eat out, most likely, kind of like I do. And you know that you kind of get tired of getting the bill after these meals, or there are times where you may scrutinize some of these purchases. And at the end of the day, food is something you need regularly every day, and you would love for that cost to just be completely eliminated. I get it. But I would encourage you maybe think a little bit bigger too, because food is very variable. You can have a really cheap meal and you can have a really expensive meal. If it was all at no cost to you for the rest of your life, that also can be a game changer. Concert tickets. This one can be kind of big too, and concerts, sometimes they're a once in a lifetime chance, all right? Some artists don't go on tour very often, right? But if you picked this, you're probably a free spirit, someone who lives in the moment, or just knows that these experiences can be transformative, and you don't need a concert ticket to live, but you need it to live for some reason. And as a musician, or just someone who loves music and creates music as a hobby, I get it. You don't need a concert ticket to live, but you kind of need it to live. So it makes sense why you would make this pick. You can go to any concert around the world, and it'll be free cost for you. So I definitely get it. Gas. So if gas is one of your picks in this list, I think you got to think a little bit bigger. Gas is only in accordance to where you're traveling. So if the cost of gas is a concern, that means there are other bigger concerns, right? Maybe you're not able to travel as far, gas, it only costs as far as you go. So the shorter distance you travel, then the less you have to spend. But if you are worried about unlimited gas, or you prefer unlimited gas, I would encourage you to think of other things. Hotels. So if you picked hotels as something you would want for free for the rest of your life, it allows me to believe that you might be that person that would go to an event but stay at maybe the furthest hotel just because it was slightly cheaper than some of the other ones, and you don't mind whatever that hotel experience is, right? But if hotel experiences were free for you, then you would probably get the 4 and 5 star hotels. You'd be right there on site at the event because you're staying at the host hotel for a convention or something along those lines. But hotel costs can vary, but for the most part, it means that you have disposable income to travel. So you might be, what I would say, splitting hairs when it comes to hotel costs. And I would encourage you that if that is the case, then it may just mean that you might have to budget a little bit differently when it comes to something like that. But having a hotel for free for the rest of your life would be nice, right? Some people would prefer that because there's always a built-in housekeeper and fresh linens and all those good things and nice showers and all that good stuff. So I get that one too. Clothes and shoes. So if you picked clothes and shoes, that means you probably have, I would say, a pretty decent fashion sense, much better than mine. I don't care enough about clothes and shoes. I do, but not as much. Not enough for that to be my pick. But ultimately, when it comes to clothes and shoes, you probably appreciate some of the finer things, right? But budget-wise, you may struggle with some of those purchases because you know that's something that either might be a problem or something that you really, really look forward to spending money on. And you want to make as much room for clothes and shoes purchases. And now that it's free, it opens up a new world to you. So, and there's no shade at all, but ultimately, clothes and shoes, those can vary as well. I can see them being very low cost or being exorbitantly high and ridiculously priced, depending on what brands you like, right? I know for me, that technically wouldn't be a pick. So it is what it is. Now here is my pick. And in my opinion, this is the only answer to choose. You have to pick flights, trust me, right? Imagine you just want to have lunch on the other side of the world and you can go first class, flights hands down. You have to pick flights, right? Think of all the times that you may have wanted to go somewhere for low cost, and because of the cost of the flights, you picked an itinerary that included 1 or 2 layovers. And in retrospect, you realize you spent so much more time in the airport and walking up and down and being concerned with your flight changes and all of that. Whereas if you could fly for free for the rest of your life, you can just fly direct everywhere, first class, right? Trust me, that's the most expensive thing you're gonna find on this list that matters, right? Clothes, great. You can buy a shirt for $8, you can buy that same type of shirt with someone's name on it and it can be $1,200, right? That's how fashion works. Food, similar. You can eat cheap food, you can eat expensive food, right? But flights, you're getting from one destination to another, and to be able to enjoy that and on any whim afford the price of first class, I wouldn't care how long the line is for TSA or anything at the airport if I knew that the flight was free. So hands down, flights has to be the #1 answer for this question. Now, an even better question is, what would I like to see added to this list? Or what would you like to see added to this list? I know for me, it would be investments. Imagine if investments were free for the rest of your life. I mean, or for the rest of my life. If investments were free, it'd be over for everybody because I would just buy and accumulate so much, and I would own probably too much, and it'd be over for everybody. But I'd love to hear from you. What would you add to this list, or what would your pick be? If you like this video, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on future content. And until next time, stay present.